The theme behind the video is to know the meaning of Ulu al-Azm, in the light of Quran and Prophet sayings, and in the last, to extract the implementation concept on our life in 21st century. The first thing that comes to mind is about the meaning of Ulu al-Azm. Ulu means possessors or owners, and Azm means steadfastness and patience or strong will or determination to do something and holders of the pledge. Allah Almighty chose many people as prophets. Only 25 prophets by names are mentioned in the holy book of Quran. But there are almost 124,000 prophets were sent for humankind. Among all of them, only 5 are grouped as Ulu al-Azm. Why only 5 prophets were named Ulu al-Azm? Because Noah was sent by God with a book and sharia, and everyone after him acted upon his book, his sharia, and his practice, until Abraham appeared with a new book and scrolls, and so every prophet after him acted upon his sharia. And then Moses came and brought Torah, which was a new book, and then Jesus came with his gospel as new sharia. Until the period of the Prophet of Islam, everyone acted upon the sharia of Jesus. The Prophet of Islam came with the Quran and new sharia whose halal and haram will remain in force until the resurrection. Some divine prophets did have divine books, but their books did not constitute new independent rulings and sharia, such as Adam, Seth, Idris, and David. Thus, they were not Ulu al-Azm. Some exegetes believe all prophets are Ulu al-Azm, but the majority of exegetes maintain the Ulu al-Azm only for some prophets. For examples to the 18 prophets mentioned in verse 82 to 90 of Surah al-An'am. Other exegetes appeal to some hadiths to restrict the number of Ulu al-Azm prophets to 9, and others to 6 or 7. The majority consensus is on only 5 prophets who brought new sharia, that is, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them. Nuh was 3rd prophet who came in the early Bronze Age, almost 3407 BCE. Abraham was the 6th prophet and came 290 years after the Great Flood. Musa was the 14th prophet who came in the late Bronze Age in 600 years after Abraham. Isa or Jesus was the 24th prophet in Islam and came almost 1,500 years ago. The last prophet of Islam is Muhammad, peace be upon him, who came almost 600 years after Jesus. The message of us to keep ourselves generous, sincere, gentle, benevolent personality, because Allah Almighty gives us examples of Ulu al-Azm prophets. Such as Noah, peace be upon him, is one of the strong-will prophet, who spent years in calling his people. He was instructed to build an ark and he alone built it despite harsh wording from a non-believer. In the same way, Abraham, peace be upon him, is the brave prophet, who alone entered the house of gods, where people left food for them and said, "Will you do not eat of the offerings before you?" When no one answered, he said, "What is the matter with you that you speak not intelligently?" Then did he turn upon them, striking them with the right hand. 3rd the prophet is Moses, peace be upon him. He was born during the era of the Pharaoh, the famous tyrant. The Pharaoh was dominating over the Israelites as he was torturing them. Moses was the only one who stood in front of cruelty and saves humankind. Fourth prophet is Jesus, son of Mary, peace be upon him, went on declaring he's the message, arguing with disbelievers, guiding them to Allah, the Almighty, ordering them to virtuousness, stating the corruption of their doctrine, and exposing their hypocrisy and malice till they became fed up with him. The last prophet is Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the most generous, sincere, gentle, benevolent man. He lived for months without food cooked in his house. He was sitting with the poor and the needy, visiting the sick, and walking in funeral processions. Therefore, we must guide ourselves as per the life example set by 5 prophets. May Allah Almighty help us in attaining His happiness and favor.